So I've been daily driving my '08 Dodge 3500 single rear wheel as a daily commuter. Normally I just tow with it, but I started driving it daily to work recently, and I get a little fed up with spongy brakes. So two things I'm going to take care of about that. One, I'm going to swap out the brake fluid in the truck to this Neo Synthetics, they call it Superdot 610. It's actually a race brake fluid. Reason I'm going with this is because I'm also going to be doing a fluid swap on my C5 Z06, which I use for racing. And I didn't want to buy a bunch of different fluids. This should be plenty fine. It fully exceeds DOT 3 and 4 specs, and has like a ridiculously high boiling point. I don't remember. Minimum wet boiling point is 421 degrees, which should be fine. And if I find out that it's not, I'll flush in different stuff. It's perfectly fine. I don't care. Also, to do this, I'm going to be putting in stainless brake lines. Now, this is my passenger side line. It's a rubber line, and this truck stock brake lines from '08, so they're a little old. Replacing them with fully braided brake lines from Crown Performance. You can get these in all kinds of different colors. I chose green because I like the green ones. These are made in the US and DOT certified. I was looking at other brands and they weren't specifically DOT certified, so that's why I got these. And the kit doesn't come with any instructions, but it does come with the copper crush washers and new clips. To put this in, you don't necessarily need anything special. However, I would highly recommend these flare nut wrenches. These work great for brake lines if it will focus on them, which it probably won't. They're like a normal wrench, but they go around the brake or the line and then clip on it on all sides. So if you just use a normal wrench, it's really common that you're going to strip the shit out of these lines. They're copper, they're not a standard steel, so they round off really easily. You're going to want something like this. So flare nut wrench set, and you'll need metric for a Dodge like this. I found that out today because I had SAE wrenches, but not metric. Now I have metric. You also need a 13 millimeter socket and a 15. That's pretty much it. I use these for getting off the little clip. Makes getting that off much easier. So I've already replaced this one. Pretty simple to do. Before I did this, just so I wasn't dumping a ton of brake fluid, I used a big syringe to suck the fluid out of the reservoir into a container. Now my fluid looks a little bit darker here than it actually is, but it still is pretty dark. I would recommend that if you're going to do brake lines, if you've never done it before, get a bottle. You don't need something this big, but you essentially drill a hole in the top, stub a line through there, and then when you're bleeding off the calipers, you can just clip that onto the caliper, and it drains right into the bottle. I'm using this big one because I've got to bleed this entire truck and then my Corvette as well, so I figured I'd just use a big one. To help with this, and so I don't have to manually bleed the system, I got Motive Products Power Bleeder. Gonna give this a try. I've done so many brake jobs by just having somebody press on the brakes, and that's just, it takes forever. And also, you have to have somebody else. And my wife's always busy with planting a million plants that she's addicted to. So, so I'm gonna try this out. So that way I should be able to do it myself. I can use the power bleeder. I've got the little adapter kit for Chrysler vehicles, which is this Dodge, and another one for GM vehicles, my Corvette. So I've already got the fluid taken out. I've already done this one. So far it's going pretty smooth. One thing I did find out is on the stock lines, this is a stock line, the ABS sensor, you see these little clips on here? The ABS sensor just clips into this along the way, so it keeps it out of the way. But if you look at the replacement for this truck, you know, it doesn't have them. They're just nice and, well, they're just nice and clean there. So you will have to find a way to put them on. I did zip ties on it, and it looks all right, but you know, your mileage may vary. Oh, you also want some brake cleaner as well. That's another thing you're going to want. So yeah, I'm going to get to replacing the rest of these, and then take her out for a drive and make sure that's not spongy anymore. So it's time for me to get back to work. Here you can see this one already in where I did the zip ties, but nice and smooth, looks really nice. And yeah, I'll get the rest on, get this thing bladed, and get on my road test. Time for me to get back to work. So I put 2 of the canisters of brake fluid in this thing. The instructions say you're supposed to pressurize the system. Pressurize the system to 15 PSI. Check for leaks. I did that. The only leak I found was at this little joiner piece here. So got that changed. So now I'm gonna pressurize it back to 15. And you can see the fluid's already making its way into the reservoir. All right, well, that should stay there. Now it's time to bleed the brakes. I got all my fans on because it's freaking hot. Well, that was quick. Don't see any more, I don't see any bubbles coming through. Oh, that one done. We'll go to the next one. All right, so that's the last brake, yeah, I might bleed the backs just one more time, just to 100% make sure. I still have plenty of fluid left in the bottle here. Yeah, I still got plenty of pressure. So I'm gonna bleed the back probably one more time and take it for a drive, see how she goes. So I'm out and about doing the road test. I learned 2 things today. 1, I should have got a power bleeder a long time ago, and 2, oh, I should have done steel braided brake lines much sooner. This thing is super responsive. Pedal is super firm and does not squish at all. Just immediate reaction. This is awesome. Anyway, continue driving this thing, but this is much needed upgrade.